I can't for the life of me understand why Mark Carney and the Liberals are popular. They're not doing much different from what they were doing when Justin Trudeau was the Prime Minister, and he was the least popular Prime Minister since the Second World War. Carney came to office saying that he would reduce the federal deficit. He increased it. He said he would reduce the size of the civil service. He hasn't. He would grow the economy. Not a chance. We're going to build big projects. None of that is happening yet. But because he's standing up to the orange man in Washington, D.C., oh, he's so dreamy. He's so popular. Now the federal regulator for banks comes out this week and says Canadian household debt is 103% of GDP. It's $2.5 trillion. That's not the amount that governments owe. That's the amount that you and I and our neighbors owe. Now, a lot of it is in mortgages. It will probably not be defaulted on. It's maybe not too much to worry about. But about 25% of it is in credit card debt and other similar transitory debt. It's a big amount. It's the largest amount relative to GDP of any country in the G7. We're more indebted as households in Canada than any other country in the G7, and more indebted than any other country in the OECD, the group that is the 40 largest economies in the world, more indebted than any other country in the OECD than Switzerland. Switzerland's at 128%, we're at 103%. The Americans are at 71%. The Brits are at 81%. Even the Japanese, who have had decades of true debt problems, are only at 68%. Now, governments are bad too. Don't get me wrong. Our government's national debt is the same as the household debt. It's about $2.5 trillion. By the end of this year, it could be $2.6 trillion. That's more than 100% of GDP. 30 years ago, all of the finance ministers for the feds and the provinces were in a daze, in a dither over the fact that they were approaching 75% of GDP in debt. Now they're way beyond that. The federal government owes about $1.4 or $1.5 trillion. That's an amount that doubled under Justin Trudeau, and it's going up rapidly under Mark Carney. Last year, we were supposed to see a much smaller deficit in the federal government, in the budget, than we did. It was $79 billion. It was higher than anything Trudeau ever had. We have the highest housing prices in the developed world. We have the highest grocery inflation. We have youth unemployment at about 15%. And it goes on and on and on. The Canadian Federation of Independent Business this week said there are more Canadian small businesses closing than opening. You can't sustain that in an economy for very long. You can't have a case where there are businesses closing faster than businesses are opening. All of this has happened under the Carney Liberals. And it's not changing. So why is it that they are so popular? And I just keep coming back to the fact that Donald Trump is so hated in Canada, and Mark Carney has positioned himself as the defender of Canada against Donald Trump, that's made him terribly popular. But he's not going to be able to stay popular for very long if the economy doesn't improve, and I don't see the economy improving anytime soon. For Post Media, I'm Lorne Gunter.